I'm Grant Horner. I am a senior professor of English and classical liberal arts at the Masters University. For me, there is an amazing kind of synergy between the grounding of my belief as a Christian and what I do as a mountain athlete. For a little over 40 years now, I've been heavily involved in rock climbing. The human body is an amazing thing. The fact that you can do with the human body the kind of things that we do in the mountains up on big walls like in Yosemite Valley and El Capitan is really, really astonishing. And what that does for a believer who spends time in the mountains is that it kind of teaches you a certain kind of appreciation for the wilderness and the wildness of the world. And I might be looking down 7,000 or 8,000 feet to the top of the tree line and think, I'm the only person anywhere near this place. And God is up here and he's looking down at all of this saying, yep, I made all that. From that vantage point, when you are on a mountaintop, you can clearly see the valley that you didn't really understand when you were down in it. You can understand the path that you took up the mountaintop. You can see a lot further. You can see the ocean or the desert. Maybe you can see the sky in a completely different kind of way. When you have a vantage point that is grounded in a theological vision of the world, everything begins to click into place. My passion as a TMU faculty member is to develop human souls. I take young people in a very, very impressionable and rapid growth stage of their lives, and I help to form them towards the things that are good and true, and helping them to work through the process of framing that theologically, to think through why human beings do what they do. What are the things that motivate us? That's what I'm trying to do. So when I was converted, I didn't know much about the Bible. I had some people point out to me that there are different genres of books of the Bible, that the Bible was not written at one time, but you have to learn how to read it. So what I did was I found a list that was kind of approaching the Bible genre-based and broke it up, rearranged it, tried a few different things, and eventually came up with this system which now is being used all over the world. I had students ask me, how is it that you came to know the Bible as a young believer? And I showed them a list that I had written in my Bible, and students are coming to me and asking me. And so I thought, well, I'll just put this up on a Facebook page, and all of a sudden it exploded. And essentially what it does is it gives you an overview of the Bible by putting together all the different genres and having you read through those chapters kind of in a rotating fashion. It really does seem to have a tremendous effect on people. One of the most exciting things that I'm involved with here at Masters is several years ago, I started the Masters University in Italy program. And what happens is we take a group of students, about a dozen or so. We have a 17,000 square foot villa in the hills in the Apennine Mountains right above the beautiful city of Florence in Tuscany. And we spent the entire summer together looking at paintings and statues and sculpture. And then we put it all into an appreciative, thankful attitude of how do we think about these things theologically? Why do human beings make the things we make? There's a theological answer to that question grounded in the nature of what a human being is. So several years ago, I had a wonderful student. He gets off the plane, we take him to the castle. The next morning, we go down into the city of Florence and we come around a corner. Now I know what's going to happen, but they don't, because you're in these tight, narrow little streets and you come around the bend and you see this massive, beautiful cathedral. And I'm watching him and I know how excited he is. And he turns to me with just about the most earnest look I've ever seen in a student's eyes in almost 3 decades of teaching. And he says, my entire conception of beauty has been radically revolutionized. And by the end of the summer, his conception of beauty had really been revolutionized because he and a young lady had fallen in love. When they got back from Italy, they began dating. And just recently, I was able to perform their wedding ceremony. Now that is the joy of being involved in the students' lives.